Hey everyone, and welcome to my chaotic mess. If you're new here, my name is Melissa.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day.
We're gonna be working in the living, well, we're gonna be working in a couple different rooms today, but we're gonna start in the living room. Today's Friday. This weekend, my husband is gonna help me clean the entire house. I was hoping it wouldn't come down to this, but when I was sick, the whole house just fell apart because I didn't do anything. I didn't do dishes, I didn't do laundry, I didn't vacuum, I didn't clean the anyway, the house is disgusting is what I'm saying. So that being said, he is going to help me this weekend try to get this house in an order to where I can hopefully keep up with it. Hopefully I won't get that sick again, at least for a long time, because it was horrible. I couldn't even get off the couch without wanting to vomit. That's how sick I was. So anyway, we're gonna I'm not okay, let me explain what I'm doing today. I'm gonna try to get rid of all of the trash, the clutter, to where all we have to do is obviously I'm not gonna be able to do the whole house today because I have a hard enough time standing for long periods of time lately. I get overheated. I've even turned the air conditioner down to 73. We usually keep it at 74, so it's just a degree. But I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if I'm going through menopause, if I have some sort of infection somewhere in my body that's just causing this overheatness. I've been having a lot of back pain. I need to look when I go see my pain management doctor next, because I think the day before, the night before, I'll shower at nighttime and then have my husband mark on my body with a Sharpie where I'm feeling the pain so that they can figure out a plan for that. Because right now they're focused mainly on my hip. I have I need to find my purse so I can tell you guys what it's called. Where did I put my purse? I found it. Anyway, this is what I have. Sclerotica joint pain, SI joint pain basically, is what I have in my right hip. And so that's what they've been working on. I've already had nerve ablation in my neck and in my upper back, but I'm starting to experience pain in my neck and my upper back again. So I don't know if it's a different nerve. Obviously they can't kill every nerve in my body, because then I won't feel when something is actually really wrong with me. But the lady told me they won't do surgery until I'm under 40 BMI. And I looked it up. I have to lose 60 pounds before I can do the surgery. And with me not being able to move a lot already, I figured that's gonna be at least another year or two before I can even have surgery. The lady gave me this pamphlet. She said she gave it to me because she said it should motivate me. But what they don't understand is that it's not that I'm not motivated. It's that I literally cannot move so much. The pool should be warm enough soon that I can do some water exercising, because then I don't feel anything in the water. But like right now, literally right now, I've been standing here for about 5 minutes and I already feel like I need to sit down because there's so much pressure right here in my lower back. And I tried to tell them that most of the pressure is in my back. I get a lot of hip pain when I walk, but when I'm standing, all the pressure is in my lower back. But they want to focus on the hip because they're convinced that if the hip gets better, the lower back will get better. But I honestly don't think that's the case, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm gonna let them work on the one area that they want to now, and then if I still have issues afterwards, they can focus on that. But I think the reason they think that is because, or they say that, is because this literally is how I look most of the time. Right here, when I'm standing, that's literally how I look, or I'm bending over. Because like when you guys see me, sometimes you see me doing the dishes and I'm bent like this, it's because it takes all the pressure off my lower back. It literally takes that pressure off because I'm distributing my weight to a different area. I will tell you, but for those of you who say it's because I'm too fat, the majority of my weight is below where it's hurting. My booty and this front part of my, whatever you call it, the front roll, is the majority of the weight on my body. This was told to me by a doctor. This is not something I'm just making up. So the fact that I feel the pain above where the majority of the weight is, it's not because there's a lot of weight pressing down on it. It's because there's something wrong with it. I know not a lot of you are haters. I'm just putting that out there for the people that like to come in and comment the hate. I shouldn't have to defend myself, and I usually try not to for the haters, but in this situation, I need people to really understand that I know I'm fat. You don't need to tell me that. I've been fat most of my life. I used to weigh a lot more. I used to weigh almost 350 pounds in 2014. 2015, I'm backwards. In 2015, my husband proposed to me February 7th, 2015, and we were getting married that same year. We had a quick engagement. It is what it is. Some people have long engagements, some people have quick engagements. It doesn't matter. We moved in with each other like literally weeks after we made ourselves official. So, you know, everyone does their own thing. My point is, I was almost 350 pounds when he proposed to me. And I wanted to lose some weight before I got married. I was, you know, obviously I didn't have a lot of time. We got married in October. So we did the paleo diet per our doctor's recommendation. And I lost a bunch of weight. I got down to 280 pounds, which is where I'm at currently, because for some reason, I can never hit, I've only hit below 280 as a grown adult one time, and that's when I had my tonsils taken out, and I got down to 250, and that's because I wasn't eating. But as soon as I was able to eat solid food, the weight went back up. And it wasn't that I was eating a lot. I think it's just that my body was storing because it's been depleted for so long. I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but I really wasn't eating a lot. Well, now I don't hardly eat at all. I eat maybe one and a half meals a day. It is what it is, right? But anyway, but when I went to the doctor at almost 350 pounds, he told me I was perfectly healthy except for I could lose some weight. Okay? I was not diabetic. I didn't have any problems with any joints or anything like that, right? Come 2016, when we moved back to Indiana, go to the doctor, diabetic. Was not diabetic at the beginning of 2015, but after I dropped a bunch of weight, mind you, before I started dropping the weight, I was drinking 2 40-ounce glasses of Mountain Dew a day, okay? We lived like right around the corner from a gas station, and I would go to that gas station in the morning, even if I had to work that day. I'd go in the morning on my way to work, and then on my way home, I'd stop. If I was home that day, I'd go in the morning when I woke up, and then I'd go right before dinner to get a night Mountain Dew. So I was completely addicted to Mountain Dew, and I unaddicted myself when we went on the paleo diet. But needless to say, I was very upset at the fact that I was a high sugar consumer at almost 350 pounds, perfectly healthy except for my weight. And the moment I start losing weight, my body just starts falling apart. Diabetes. I started having more and more strep throats, which turned into getting my tonsils taken out. I had to have sinus surgery because my sinuses were so inflamed. You know, I've always had sinus issues, right? But I've never had them to where it would cause so much swelling. I'm not blaming that necessarily on the weight. It could just be I moved back to a state I'm completely allergic to. But anyway, what else? PCOS. I developed PCOS after dropping some weight. I'm trying to think of everything else. Now I have rheumatoid arthritis, which that's a genetic thing. My mom had it. Likelihood that someone else in our family had it that we just didn't know about, because the further and further we get, the less they knew about things like rheumatoid arthritis. So it's possible. I am just saying that I'm not promoting being fat by any means. I'm just saying when I was bigger, the doctor said I was healthy except for my weight. I had no medical issues, and then I lose weight and I just start falling apart. And then we get in the car accident, and because I told a doctor like a month before our accident, when I went in, you know how you go to the doctor and they're like, so how are you feeling today? Well, apparently, and I don't remember this, but apparently I told her my back was hurting a little. And usually it's probably because I slept wrong. But because I told her that, it made my case, my accident case, just get settled at, honestly, a really low ball number, in my opinion. Because I wasn't going to go to court and argue. I told the lawyer, I said I didn't even want to do the secondary case to begin with. You guys told me I had nothing to lose, and now they're like calling me a liar, and I cannot stand people calling me a liar. So let's just settle it, because I'm already pissed off. I don't even want to deal with them anymore. I'm tired of people taking doctor's notes and twisting it into their own narrative when they have no idea what was going on. But I think the fact, okay, my doctors now still do the same thing. They will put in what they recommend, even if they don't tell me that. And in her thing, she put in recommendations for pain management, but she never told me anything about pain management. First of all, my back was hurting one time that I went to you, and you put in your notes recommended pain management. What? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, oh, I don't even know what the point I'm trying to make is anymore. The point I'm trying to make is that just because someone is fat does not mean they're unhealthy. That's my main point. Secondary point is just because I have spine and hip issues does not mean it's caused because I'm fat. That's the secondary point. So all that to say, I'm trying my best to lose weight. I have gotten back down to 280 because for those of you who don't know, when my previous primary care doctor left their practice and went on somewhere else, the person they put me with at that point changed my medication to some other medication that wasn't metformin. And apparently it was a medication that caused weight gain. I got back up to 330 pounds on that medication. My current primary care doctor said, why would they put you on that medication? That medication causes weight gain. Not even supposed to give it to obese patients. It's mainly for people who are underweight, basically. So I'm trying my best to get all this done so I can take a quick break and then we can get to cleaning. So that being said, she changed up my medication. I ended up, through the power of medication and really nothing else, and lack of eating, because I'm never hungry anymore, I got from 330 back down to 280. I've not been able to get under 280. It's like it just freezes there. It freezes at 280. So that's why I am just saying that this surgery is probably going to be a year or two away. All that just to tell you why this surgery is not happening anytime soon. And the reasoning behind it baffled me, because she said the doctor who does the surgery wouldn't even do it unless I was under 40 BMI because of anesthesia. I've had surgeries from 2016 to, well, not that long ago, like, what, 2 years ago maybe? Anyway, I don't know. And I've always had the anesthesia. No one ever commented about my weight with the anesthesia. So I don't know why this doctor has an issue. I get that people that are obese do have a harder time with anesthesia. I've always told every anesthesiologist since my first surgery that I have a hard time coming out of anesthesia, that they have to leave me on the oxygen longer than a normal person because I have a hard time coming out of it. I tell these people all the time. And so I just don't, maybe he doesn't like doing that risk. But here's the thing. The anesthesiologist, my first one, told me that they think it's just how my body reacts to it. It wouldn't matter if I lost 100 pounds, my body would still react that same way. So I don't know. I'm just gonna let it be. If the surgery happens in the future, the surgery happens in the future. Until then, I'll just continue to go every 3 months and get a shot that may or may not work and deal with it. Because if I stop getting the shots, then the insurance company is going to be like, well, you must have got better because you stopped doing the shots. And it's like a whole stupid thing with insurance. Insurance is such a scam, by the way. I'm not going to get into it. You guys know how I feel about insurance companies. Anyway, I'm going to sit down and then we're going to get to decluttering some things in here.
My head above the water. Finally I can breathe again. Lost in the waves I wander, but in your eyes I see no pain. You're a holiday, a break from the rain. Sipping your sunshine, come take me away. In the water, finally I can breathe again. senses, carry me away, away. A dream, 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 come take me away. I see a new horizon, my 2 feet steady on the ground. With you I found my reason, yeah, to keep chasing what we found. You're a holiday, a break from the rain, sipping your sunshine, come take me away. New horizon, finally I can see again. You're a dream, 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 standing in your presence, carry me away, honey. A dream, 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 make me lose my senses, carry me away, away. Dream, 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 come take me away. You're a dream, 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 standing in your presence, carry me away, honey. A dream, 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 make me lose my senses, carry me away, away. A dream, dream, dream.
Alright, so Stitch needed to go potty, so I figured I'd bring you guys out here. I still have those radishes to thin out, but most of them here survived, so that's good. The ones I planted in the tomato garden did not survive. I had like 4 or 5 that I had uprooted that anyway, they didn't survive. Anyway, I say that a lot. We had a thief. Do you remember my tomatoes that were there? They're gone. We figured out who the thief is. I'm not going to expose, but I'm a little irritated by it. The sunflowers are getting bigger. I really need to thin these out as well. I just need to get out here. I'm trying to wait until we get the bigger sunshade up, because like right now, if you can't tell, like I have to bend to get under here. It's just not very comfortable. But the sunflowers are coming up. The onions, most of them are looking good. This tomato plant still has no fruit. This has 1 fruit. That has 1 fruit. Someone says something about you need to do something to them to get them to bear more fruit, but I don't know what they meant, so I don't know. But the onions are looking good. I'm waiting for them to really bulb. We'll see. Anyway, this is still dead. Those are still dead. My husband moved the zucchini, this one, and it's not doing so hot after being transplanted, but whatever. I'm wondering if this galvanized tin is making the soil too hot. I don't know. This one's not looking too hot either, but he didn't even move that one. However, the cucumbers, he moved a lot of those around because they were all right on top of each other over here, but they're looking very good. The watermelon is looking good. The cantaloupe's gone. I'm gonna plant something else there. Still no flowers. Gonna plant something else there. Ooh, it's not firm yet. I'm waiting for it to firm up. It might be firm though. It says it needs to be firm, but I don't know what that means. So we decided once it starts changing like the orange, like where it starts to get a little orange to it, is when we'll pick it. The 2 banana peppers. I pick all of the dead leaves off. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I do. This is the strawberry plant that's never had fruit on it. It's starting to get fruit there, but it's, ooh, Does that mean it came undone? Hold on. Okay, I was gonna ask if that meant I needed to cut it from the mother plant because it's starting to crown, but it's not established in there yet. Oh, what's that? What's that, guys? Can you see? Oh, it's a dead lizard. Oh, apparently catnip must, I'm gonna have to have Justin move that. I don't like touching dead things. Lizards don't scare me, but I don't know why it died. I need to cut some of this basil down and dry it out somehow. Looks like we're starting to either get another stem or we're getting a bean. I don't know. All the leaves are getting these on them. I've already picked a lot off that had those. And everything I read says that it's some sort of disease bug. So I pick them off when I see them. But I also don't want to like be picking off good, no sir, good leaves. So let me know if that is a diseased leaf, because everyone in my group says that that's a diseased leaf. We're starting to get more strawberries. Lavender's really starting to come in. Still no jalapenos, but it looks like it's starting to get some fruit up here. This basil plant is huge as well. This is another bean plant. This one is huge. And it looks like it's starting to, I mean, is it still fruiting? If it's a bean, it looks like it's starting to fruit. The jalapenos down here are starting to get flowers on it. So these are my beans that I started from seed. They're not looking good. This one looks diseased. So you're gonna have to let me know if these are really diseased, because I pick them. I pick them and throw them out in the yard. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I have another strawberry runner that came down here. I just covered it. Oops, just covered it back up. But I also have a green bean that's trying to grow now. So we'll see which one wins. That's a secondary one that decided to grow. And still nothing there. Still nothing there. So I'm gonna be taking these off soon. I have other seeds that I can plant in these empty things. So anyway, that's how the garden's looking. I also have something I can plant in here. Look, there's a carrot seed right there. That, you can even see it in the camera. Yeah, this red spot. Like, this is on fire. So I wonder if maybe these are just too hot. I don't know. We're gonna be putting the shade cloth up soon, so I'm gonna be planting something else out in these. I need to get my little corner cleaned up, because when I get my compost bin, this is where it's gonna go. So yeah. Anyway, going back inside. It's so unreal watching those last garden clips, because the garden has grown so much. And this was filmed, what is today? So probably about a month ago. I'm gonna be honest, it's probably about a month ago, because I got really to the point where I wanted to have some stock up on videos for when I got sick again. And then I've just been busy, guys. I've been busy, which is, I say I've been busy, but I've been in my head again. And when I get in my head, I just need to not do things. And so it was really in the air whether I was even going to have a video for Saturday since I didn't do one on Wednesday. But today I, said, you know what, I'm going to go edit and kind of do something that lets me not be in my head so much. And I realized I'm going to have to finish this story the next speed up. So sorry about that. I will get back to what I realized in the next clip. I am so sorry. I didn't realize I didn't have that much time. All right, it's Monday. I did not touch the kitchen this weekend. We worked on other parts of the house and the kitchen did not get touched. So I'm gonna clean the kitchen, but first I'm gonna turn the Roomba on so it can work on vacuuming. Should be empty. I haven't used it in a while. I'm saving up to get the one that has like the canister so it empties itself, and then you just take the little, you just dump the canister or whatever. Anyway, so it looks worse than it is. It really does look worse than it is. I have to load the dishwasher. The dishwasher is empty. I need to load it. There's some hand wash dishes that need to be washed, some trash that needs to be taken out. It's just a thing. And I'm not feeling the best today, like normal. It's just normal, everyday shenanigans for me. I don't feel good. So what's new, right? I know that's what you're thinking. You never feel good. It's true. I never feel good. And it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. But there's other things in the kitchen that need to be taken out, like the heater. I had it when I was working on a different project. I needed to heat something or keep something at a temperature. Anyway, the blowtorch, it definitely shouldn't be in the kitchen next to a stove. I don't like, anyway, I'm not feeling good today. The issue is my numbers are so low, like super, like not low, like, but they're low, and I feel the lowness. I am exhausted and I haven't done anything. That's my life. I'm fatigued 24/7. That's my life. I'm hungry, but there's really nothing to eat. I need to go grocery shopping. That's not happening. I have so many projects I want to work on this week, and I just don't know if we're going to get to them. But first I'm going to get the dishwasher loaded so I can see if I have room for the things in the refrigerator that I need to throw out, because I don't want to leave crusty dishes in the sink. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. All right, really quick haul. Let's start with, I might have to go sit down. I'm gonna try to hurry. Let's just start with Publix. That way if I have to go sit down, I can get the cold stuff put away and just be done. I bought these for dinner tonight. They're just little meal for one things. I don't normally buy these, but I'm honestly just not feeling good. I think it's the heat. It's hot. It's hotter than it usually is this time of year down here, and I'm feeling it. I bought some ham sticks because they were on sale, so I bought some Colby Jack cheese because it was on sale. I bought the Tillamook. You guys know I prefer Tillamook over most of them because they're just better ingredients. And then of course I got Tillamook cream cheese because I'm almost out of cream cheese. So let me put this up and then we'll finish the rest. All right, now let's see. I got a whiteboard from the Dollar Tree. This is just to write my baking to-do list on. So once I finish one item, like not in the same day, but like, so that way I don't forget something of what I need to get baked. I bought these bowls for coffee grounds. I'm gonna set one by the coffee pot, and I'm just gonna let my dad and Justin know that any coffee grounds need to be dumped in here. That way I can go put them out in the garden. It came in a 2-pack. I got this as a temporary compost sort of situation. I started putting some compost in a baggie in the fridge. I'm gonna transfer it to this, and I'm gonna put it in like a shaded area outside. Because that's what it says to do with the compost bin. I don't know. Anyway, I went to Home Goods because I needed everything but the bagel seasoning. And I like their spices. They have good, clean, quality spices there. So Pure Kitchen, everything but the bagel seasoning. And then while I was there, I decided to get a secondary loaf pan that's not glass. I have a glass loaf pan, but I wanted one that was not glass because that's what is recommended for the bread. So that's it. I'm gonna go sit down because I feel like I'm about to pass out. And I got a Monster. I forgot to mention that, but I got a Monster. My husband ordered me some Monsters, from Sam's Club. They'll be here tomorrow. We also ordered paper plates, some laundry stuff. I don't remember what else, but we had to do so much to get the free shipping, so that'll be here tomorrow. It is cheaper to buy the Monsters in bulk than to buy them individually, so, and I know you guys are gonna say just quit Monster. I could, I guess, but it's honestly one of the few things that brings me joy in life these days. So I know that sounds horrible to say, but like, I'm stuck here, like cleaning, cooking, being in pain, and Monsters just give me a joy, I guess. I know, again, I know that sounds so stupid and silly, but I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's something I know I could give up, but like at this point I'm like, why? Why deprive myself of anything that makes me happy? And having a Monster a day, because that's what I do. I don't sit there and drink Monsters all day long. I literally have one a day, if that. Some days I don't even drink one. Some days I decide to drink coffee instead. I don't have a whole bunch of caffeine drinks in a day. I drink my Monster, and then I usually drink like Kool-Aid or water the rest of the day. So I feel like it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I think it is the heat because I was getting very lightheaded at Home Goods. And I said, if I feel this way at Publix, I'll just turn around and go home. So I got to Publix. I went inside Publix, and they have the air conditioning blasting in Publix, and I immediately felt better. Immediately felt better just in that cool air. So it's definitely the heat. I have very low heat tolerance anymore. I know I live in Florida. I used to love the heat. The heat didn't bother me so much. But since I developed that sun allergy, I have a very low heat tolerance as well. And I just don't normally leave the house when it's hot. I usually get curbside groceries during this time of year. Well, usually it doesn't start till June, but the heat is like pumping. So, I mean, gardening wise, I will definitely be out there at nighttime. When the sun starts to set, I won't be out there during the day at all. No, it's too hot. Like, it's way too hot. It's way, way too hot. And here's the thing. I think it's one of the medicines that caused this, and I know which one it is. But even if I stopped taking it, the damage is done. It's already ruined my body. And I have a feeling that in probably, who knows, 5-10 years, there'll be a lawsuit on this medicine and I will join it. Oh my God. You know how like they have, oh, what is that medicine? There's a lawsuit now that's like if you used this between these years, then you could be eligible for compensation or something like that. A lot of medications that are just now becoming to where they're causing problems. Sorry, I gotta set you guys down. Well, pee. Anyway. And I know this is the worst angle, but I really don't want to get up to get the tripod. So anyway, I just have a feeling that this medication is going to end up being the cause for that. Because one of the things, when I first started taking it, one of the things on the bottle said to avoid extended exposure to the sun. And so I did that. I didn't go outside as much. I basically became an inside person. Not that I was ever really like super outdoorsy, but I used to go outside more than I do now. Of course, I didn't live in Florida. The first time I lived in Florida, I was fine, but I wasn't on any medications then. I was overweight, even though I'm still overweight, but I was super overweight, but healthy. But since being on medications, everything in my life has changed. And like I know that this is going to sound bad because medications are supposed to help you, make you feel better. But here's my honest take on it, and while I'm still taking medications, because when I went off of them, because I did take myself off of them at one point because I said, you know what, forget it. The insurance company pissed me off. And I said, forget it, I'll just die. And I stopped taking them. And my numbers, my A1C went back up to like 10. My sugars were in the 300s, whereas before I was diabetic, I had no issues. Before I started taking medications, no issues. Like the most I ever took was an allergy pill because I'm allergic to everything. And it just, oh my God, it just baffles me how much crap we have to go through these days. And I swear medications are made to help you to a point, but also make you feel worse in other ways. Like, for example, metformin. Metformin's the medicine I'm talking about. If you take it, you know what I mean. But that's the one that's on the bottle. When I first started taking it, on the bottle it said avoid extended exposure to sunlight or something along those lines. But since I started taking metformin, I've developed gastroparesis. I've had, stomach problems left and right. And I'm on the extended release first. Okay, so the first, the regular metformin I could not tolerate. It made me so sick. The doctor said, oh, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. After 3 months, I went to them and I said, when am I going to get used to it? Because I'm tired of feeling this way. And they put me on the extended release. And so I've been on the extended release since then. There's only been, since 2016, there's probably only been 6 months that I have not been on metformin. And that's sad, because I feel like it's the main issue. Now, I'm trying my best to just get off the pills, but for some reason, the Mounjaro is dependent on them now, whereas I think it's because, and this is just a theory, I could be wrong, oops. The first time I took Mounjaro, it was a fluke. My insurance, or Walmart was saying my insurance was covering it. Apparently my insurance didn't cover it, but Walmart was giving it to me for $25 anyway. And after like the 4th month, they told me, no, this isn't covered. Like thousands of dollars of what they were quoting me. And I'm like, no, I've been getting it for like the last 3 months. It's been $25 the last 3 months. You guys said my insurance covered it the last 3 months. And apparently there was just a person there that was putting in a coupon for me every time, even though they weren't supposed to. I guess they did it for a bunch of people, and they're not there anymore, but but the way that doctor did it was she took me off everything except the Mounjaro, because she wanted to see how my body would do with just the Mounjaro. And it did wonderful. It did great. My body adjusted so well to it. I was losing weight. I didn't need to take any other medications. But now this doctor wants me to stay on all of the other medications plus the Mounjaro. And I think it's because she's trying to get my weight off quicker, because, metformin's an appetite suppressant, Mounjaro's an appetite suppressant, and then my rheumatoid medicine, which I wasn't on until recently, that's an appetite suppressant. I'm on 3 different appetite suppressants. So the fact that I'm never hungry is no surprise. I literally eat once a day. Sometimes I'm actually hungry and I eat twice a day. But, like, I hardly snack. Like, you guys seen I got those munchies things from BJ's. I have 1 or 2 packs a week at most, because it's just when I need a small snack. I don't want to eat a full meal because, close to dinner or close to something, or we're about to leave the house, or you know what I mean? It's just something light, something quick. But I don't eat a lot. And I think what makes me so mad, though, is like the misconception people have about obese people, because they just assume that if you're fat, it's because you're overeating. They don't realize that there's underlying issues with weight. Like for me, I have PCOS, which is probably the cause of my weight, because remember when I told you I was healthy before I lost all my weight? Well, that doctor didn't do like the gynecology stuff. He was just an internal medicine doctor. So he did everything but like my gynecology stuff, because my gynecologist in Indiana, who ended up doing my uterine scrape, told me I've probably had PCOS most of my life, by the looks of the way my uterus looked, basically. It was filled with polyps, and they had to do a full scrape. And she thought that the reason I wasn't able to have kids at that point was because there were literally huge polyps blocking both my fallopian tubes. So she was confident that's why I wasn't having normal periods. I wasn't really having any periods at that point. And so when she did the uterine scrape, my period still didn't come back. So she put me on a medication that would start my period, basically. And I was on that. Basically, you take that for 3 months and then you stop. And if you don't get a period before 3 months, you do it again, and on and on and on. So when I moved down here, I tried to explain that to the gynecologist I was seeing down here, and they're just like, no, that doesn't sound right. Okay, but that's what my doctor, you know what I'm saying? So it just frustrates me that, like, I don't know. I loved my doctors in Indiana. That's the only thing I miss about Indiana is my doctors and our insurance. Our insurance was fabulous up there. Like, I could have, and I almost did, get gastric bypass surgery, but I had a huge panic attack, like, before we were supposed to schedule the day. Like, I did all the classes and all the therapy and stuff that they require you to do. At least the insurance company that we had at the time, that's what they required. I passed everything, but I ended up having a dream literally a week before we were supposed to schedule, like, pick an actual date for me to do my surgery. I had a huge nightmare dream that caused a panic attack, and I decided I wasn't going to do it because I was scared. Like, I never felt so much fear in my life than that dream and the panic attack it caused. So I didn't have gastric bypass surgery. Do I regret it? Every day. And not because I want to be skinny or anything like that. I wanted the chance to have doctors, and this is going to be the saddest thing you've ever heard probably. I wanted the chance to have a doctor actually listen to me and not just see a fat blob, because that's how I feel. I feel like a lot of doctors, especially down here in Florida, the doctor I have now is really nice. She doesn't tell me to my face anyway that I'm fat, need to lose weight, but God, what was I saying? But I feel like doctors these days can't look past your weight. They assume that if something's wrong with you, it's because you're overweight. And so I didn't really have that issue when I lived in Indiana, but I did have that issue when we lived in Florida, because I seen a couple doctors before we found our doctor that I liked, and everything was that it's because I was fat. And I knew we weren't staying in Indiana forever. I knew that. I knew we were going to move somewhere else, and I wanted to be skinny because I want doctors to look at me, not my weight. I know that sounds sad. I know that sounds horrible, but that's honestly the only reason I wanted to have bypass. Not because I absolutely wanted to be skinny, but because I wanted doctors to finally just look at me as a human being and not an overweight person. And I guess the reason I'm telling you this is because I told you earlier in the video about the possible surgery, but I have to get down to under 40 BMI, and I have to lose like 60 pounds or something along those lines. And it's just the fact that I went back to that place. Like, if I had gotten the bypass, I was going to do the sleeve though, not the bypass. The bypass absolutely scares me, I would because they basically cut your whatever from your small intestines from your stomach and connect it directly to your large intestines, so they bypass the stomach basically. And the thought of just having an organ in there just rotting away doing nothing just bothered me, because they don't remove your stomach. It literally just sits in there with nothing going in it, nothing that's why you have to cleanse before you have a surgery. And then make sure your stomach is completely empty and stuff like that if you're doing the bypass. Anyway, this is what they told me. I was doing the sleeve, so I still needed to have a pretty empty stomach, but they told me, because I asked them, I said, well, if I do the sleeve, will you remove the extra stomach? And they said, yes, they'll remove it. So, but I guess the reason they don't do that for bypass is because they told us when we went to decide, like, it was like this big group, right? You go and you hear all about the different options that they offer and stuff like that. But apparently the bypass is reversible. Like, you can connect back to your stomach. And I thought, then why do it anyway? And is your stomach even going to, what happens if your stomach's not viable anymore? What happens if your stomach just sits there and shrivels up to nothing? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not being used. I don't know. It was a fear of mine, so I went with the sleeve, which was also recommended for diabetics anyway. So, because on bypass, you have to be on a bunch of these, like, nutrient supplement vitamin things your entire life. But with the sleeve, you still have to do the, like, nutrient vitamin things, but you don't have to do them your entire life. You have to do it, I think it was like 3 years, maybe 5 years, I don't remember, but you had to take these supplements and stuff for a few years. But on the bypass, you had to do it your whole entire life. And I didn't want to do that. I did not want to be on supplements my whole entire life. Anyway, I'm going to sit here for a few more minutes. Then I'm going to get up and work on the kitchen. So this is a little frustrating. This will not magnetize. It's got magnets on it, but it's not wanting to stick. All my other magnets stick just fine. See? And then the other one that I had on here, the other magnetic thing I had on here, it worked fine. The other, see, I wanted it magnetic because I wanted to be able to easily take it off and stuff like that. But apparently that's not gonna work. I'm so frustrated. You know, I used to have magnetic sheets, but I'm pretty sure they were in the craft stuff that I gave to my mother-in-law. So they were basically these, you know what I mean? And then you just put them on whatever you want magnetized. It's frustrating. Trying to think. Because obviously I need this where I can just update it. This is my food prep list. I'm starting with bread and going from there. So let me see if it'll magnetize on anything. Like, oh crap. It's not even magnetizing on anything. That's the thing. It's not even trying to magnetize. they could be like bad magnets. I mean, what do you expect from the Dollar Tree, right? It's fine. I'm just gonna stick it here for now. Also, these no, I never really paid attention to the knobs on these cabinets before, but they don't line up with each other. Isn't that funny? Like how you notice things years later, and now that I've noticed they don't line up with each other, it's going to bug me. Like, you can tell someone just eyeballed the crap out of that. Anyway, I am going to clean out the fridge. That's the main reason we're over here. We're cleaning out the fridge. Kind of. I'm basically getting the dishes out that I need to dump, which is only 4. Oh my, I almost forgot about those. And we're gonna dump all these, put them in the dishwasher, but I think I can only do 2. Let me get these 2 emptied and I'll see, because I just want to get them straight into the dishwasher, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna dump these and we're gonna get them in the dishwasher and see how much room we have. I think we're gonna leave it at just those 2, and then tomorrow I'll empty the dishwasher and we'll get the other 2 emptied and put in the dishwasher. Maybe. Yeah, definitely tomorrow, because tomorrow's trash day and I want to get it. I'm gonna clean out the whole refrigerator tomorrow. Like everything that's expired, just needs to go, etc. We're cleaning it out tomorrow. But this bag here is basically done, because I'm not gonna leave this food sitting in the house. So I'll take that out later, or my husband will take it out. One of the 2. Anyway, I don't think I have room for this. I don't. I forgot about that. Maybe I'll just hand wash it. Alright. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I keep checking my sugar and it's fine, but I'm just really dizzy, lethargic, and my neck is killing me. I get overheated very easily. So these aren't the same ones we bought last time. Last time they had multiple, not just a purple, and it was Member's Mark, so I don't know. I'm switching to Blue Land though when this is done. I'm trying to, I say this to you guys, as you guys know I use paper plates, but I'm trying to reduce as much plastic waste as I can. Plus, I read an article that said that a lot of these things, a lot of these detergent pods, the plastic doesn't completely dissolve and it gets stuck down in the system. And so I'm trying to avoid that, even though I rent. I like to treat other people's property like I would treat my own. And since reading that article, I just would rather get away from the plastic. So I know Blue Land does not have plastic. I'll do research to see what else does not have the plastic, that's just the little tab, because that's what I would like to switch to, something that's plasticless. If you have any suggestions for me that are plasticless, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm doing the same thing in the laundry room as well. I'm going to be switching to, well, I'm going to try the detergent sheets. That's mainly for arthritis purposes because the jug is heavy and I still have to like push it, and it's more for arthritis sanity than anything else. But like, so you can just, I have to clean this whole underside. That's on my list. That's on my list. That, I gotta clean the floor. I just need to get priorities first, which is I need to finish the kitchen before my guests come, which means I need to clean the refrigerator, I need to clean the microwave, I need to try to stay on top of the dishes. Other than this room, I need to get my office organized because that's also the guest room. So we'll be working in there as well, but you'll see that in the next video. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this video here. I wanna go and thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any plasticless cleaning suggestions that you would recommend. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way.